Good morning. Bank holiday Monday, May weekend, May something, May holiday. 25th of May. Absolutely stunning day, absolutely gorgeous. Good morning, Corella. Feel as if we've already had our coffee this morning. I hope you're well in Germany. The waterfall in Scotland this morning. Good morning, Pamela. Isn't that just absolutely stunning? Good morning, Nicole. Look at that. Look at the colours. Look at that particular tree. Isn't that handsome? What a handsome big boy that is. Morning, Harv. Okay, let's get today on the go. Good morning. And we've completed Mental Health Week, which was the 18th to 24th, and Monday the 25th of May. It's a bank holiday Monday, which I only just realised about 5 minutes ago. Morning, Harv. And I hadn't really put any thought into it, but I'm actually, although we've been in lockdown, and although that things have been very quiet, and it would almost seem that every day could have been a holiday, I made my mind up that I'm going to have a holiday today. I'm just going to enjoy the bank holiday Monday. So, I'm speaking about happiness this morning. Something that I think everybody wants, but we find it so hard to hold on to. We find it so hard to maintain. Happiness is a fundamental need, a desire almost. But so few of us manage to develop that muscle. So if you wanted to lose weight, you would get an effective personal trainer. You wanted to get fit at something, you want to get tutored in maths, you would get an effective mathematics tutor. You'd want to learn a language, you would immerse yourself in that culture, that country. You'd start to feel the essence of the language and the linguistics, and you would get yourself a very effective tutor. Good morning, Mags. And you would start learning about it. But can I ask you, who taught us to be happy? Did we ever have happiness workshops in our school? When we were at primary, were we taught to be happy? And did anybody show us how to install happiness programs? So happiness is something that I think everyone wants, and it's also a fundamental need, yet very few people manage to maintain it. I've got my hat on inside out. Huh. There you go. Huh. That's funny. Right, so happiness. Unfortunately, we do not have effective programs for happiness. And that has been formulated through evolution because of our ancestors. We are programmed to really hone in on negative experiences, on dangerous experiences, on things that might be life-threatening. Okay? So, well, imagine this. Imagine you had 10 situations happen throughout the day. Imagine that 5 of them were really positive, 4 were neutral and 1 was bad. See, when you go home to your wife or husband or go back to your house and you're going to your bed at night, what one do you think about? Do you think about the 5 positive? Do you think about the 4 neutral? Or is the 1 that was negative ruminating round your mind? Right? So the reason that we had to pay particular attention to bad news, our ancient ancestors, of which we have evolved, and from them and through them, we have evolved a very complicated nervous, limbic, endocannabinoid systems. We have got many systems inside us that give us an innate understanding of our environment and how we interpret information from our surroundings, of which your brain is doing all the time. Your brain is continually processing experiences that's going on around us. Okay, so our ancient ancestors really knew this, and I'm going to talk about like traffic lights, red, amber and green. Okay, so we have been programmed to overestimate threat and underestimate opportunity. Why am I talking about this with happiness? It will become apparent. So if we were going out hunting with our primates, our ancestors, we had to be very, very aware that there might be a bear in the woods, right? Now, it's better to be overly cautious that there's a bear in the woods, and that would increase our anxiety, okay, than it would be to be in a green light and cruising around, everything's cool, everything's groovy, and then the bear comes out. So it's better to have 1,000 anxious experiences than it is to have one groovy experience as you're walking along to go get your potatoes out the field or whatever, right? So we're almost programmed for negative experiences, because those negative experiences we have to be super attuned to, because it's life-threatening. Okay, so our anxiety's increased, we're on high alert, we're constantly looking for threat that's not really there. Okay, now the likelihood of a bear or a tiger jumping out the woods on me in New Lanark is not a reality, okay? But still, as I'm walking through these woods, and before I go online, I'm in a very contemplative mood, I'm very reflective, and I love this now. I used to be scared of it, but for an example, I might be walking along and there's a load of leaves on the ground, and there's a long stick under the leaves of which I don't see, and my foot touches the stick at this end, and 6 feet in front of me the leaves rustle, and I'm like, whoa, there's something under there, whereas there's actually not. In my mind, as I'm walking through this almost Jurassic sort of world that I walk in the mornings, I'm constantly looking at sticks and thinking there's snakes, or I'm looking in the trees and thinking there's something there. The likelihood of them being there is really slim, but my mind is still processing and looking and making things that may be a threat to me out of shapes that are not really there, right? So we're not programmed for happiness. We want happiness, we desire happiness, we feel unfulfilled because we're not getting happiness, but in actual fact, we've never been taught how to install or upload that program, okay? So, up until about, I always say 20 years ago, because I've been talking about this for about a decade now, it's probably more like 30 years ago now or something like that, but a thing in the brain is called neuroplasticity. You might have heard of that. It's where the brain actually changes. Up until about 30 years ago, psychologists, doctors, psychiatrists believed that the brain got to a certain age and that was it. It was a rigid structure. Well, it's not. It's not a rigid structure, and the brain can be changed. But again, we know that. How many people are out there teaching people how to change their brain? I'm really self-conscious. My hat's on inside out, but I'm not going to let it annoy me. But I am. See? Why don't I just stop and turn it the right way around? So, the brain is plastic, it's malleable, it's changeable. Okay, so how do we start to do these things? I'm going to give you an example. I like giving examples. Last night at 11:30, now I went to bed at 10 and I woke up because I was dreaming about somebody that I haven't seen for a long time. And there's nothing negative between myself and that person, but there was some negativity that surrounded the situation, right? There was some other negative people, it was a negative experience, right? So last night, got in bed, 10 o'clock, start dreaming, have this dream, this person was in it, and it was just awesome, it was wonderful. It was so rich and so real, and actually when I woke up I felt as if it had happened, but I could still feel that juice running through my body. I could still feel that good positive feelings running through my body. So I took myself down the stairs, Still feeling that feeling. Got a drink of water and sat on the couch and started conjuring up those feelings and started expanding those feelings and starting turning the volume up in them, turning the intensity up in them, made the picture a lot bigger and a lot brighter. And I could really feel it running through my body. I could really feel it as if it was already happening, as if I was experiencing that between 11:30 last night and 12 o'clock. And then I went off to my bed, right? Now I hadn't made the link to this, but I woke up 4:30 this morning, something like that, and the sun was beating in through my bedroom window. And as I was looking at the sun, I just felt, wow. I was filled with positive feelings towards the day. Now normally I'm struggling to get out of the house. In order to do this circuit, I need to be out of the house at the latest 6. There was a couple of mornings last week I left it till like 6 minutes past 6. This morning I was away out of the house at before 5:45. Really ready to take the day on, and that's the difference. Are you walking in towards your day with that sort of feeling of, oh, here we go, another day, oh, I need to go and do this walk, oh, I'm meeting everybody at 8 o'clock to go for a swim in the Clyde? Or is it, yes, I'm really excited about getting out here and getting on with that. Now, I hadn't necessarily made the link until I started talking this through with you. Because of the programme that I had set up, because I had intensified the feelings, created more joy, more bliss in my body, I was experiencing it as if it had already happened. I believe now, talking to you, that that has had a direct impact and direct correlation to how I'm approaching this walk this morning, how I'm approaching this. And as I've been walking along, the gratitude that I've had for the sun, certain colours, shapes, experiences has been incredible, right? Now, what wires together in the brain fires together. Got that back to front. What fires together wires together. So fundamentally, I've been saying this over the last few days about a mosquito bite, but it's about redirecting our focus, not our external focus, but our internal focus, right? It's about learning to redirect our focus, our mind sight rather than our visual sight, okay? Because how we are experiencing it, this is not positive thinking. I am not a fan of positive thinking. That doesn't work for me, okay? If it works for you, that's fine. Doesn't work for me. I think it's like planting a rose bush in a pile of dung. You know, it'll look quite pretty from a distance, but you'll still smell the shite, right? And a lot of people that are positive thinkers, you may just look at them and think they are talking shite, right? So it doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me, and positive thinking is not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is actually taking charge of your own internal reality and starting to create and upload and install new and more effective programs in order for you to get the most out of your world. Now, whatever you look at will grow. Let's use the example of the mosquito bite. I'm on holiday, get a mosquito bite in my arm, I'm sitting there scratching it. The more I scratch it, the more I'm scratching it. The more I'm feeling it, the more I'm scratching it, the more I'm scratching it, the more I'm scratching it. And then it's like, right, let's get ready and go out for dinner. Get yourself ready, you go for a shower. You're in the shower, you can feel the cold water running against your face. You're not aware of the mosquito bite. You get your glad rags on, you get out, you're going, well, listen to me. Holidays with glad rags isn't me. It's basically I go on holiday with 2 t-shirts and a pair of quarter length shorts and a pair of flip-flops, and I always go to kind of third world destinations where you go and sit and eat your taco in the curb at the side of the road. But you get yourself ready, you go out for something to eat, and you meet up with friends or you meet up with people that you're there with, and you just have a great chat. You're chatting away about life in general, and you get home, and as soon as you arrive back to your apartment on your own, what do you start doing? You start scratching the mosquito bite. Okay, so what happened was we were redirecting our focus from the mosquito bite to experiencing the shower, to experience getting ready to get out, to then experiencing a conversation with significant others, enjoying that conversation. Then we get back in and we start to feel the poison of the mosquito bite. We start itching it again. So how do we start to redirect our attention? Well, it's like any muscle. If I want to lose belly fat, which I probably would if I did some curl reps on my arms, but I'm not really going to significantly lose belly fat. What I'm significantly going to do is increase my bicep muscle. So in order to lose belly fat, you need to do sort of high intensity cardio or even sit-ups. But you're certainly not going to lose belly fat as quickly by doing rip curls or dumbbells, okay? So what we do is we start to heal. So heal is have it, experience it, absorb it, and live it. Right? Heal, have it, experience it, absorb it, and live it. So you have a feeling, positive feeling. Okay, you think about, here, let's do something experiential. Do you like dogs? Do you like cats? So puppies, pussies, whatever it is that you like. Imagine that little puppy when you had it with its little puppy breath. Remember its little puppy breath? Its little pink tummy, right? How frail it was, how you could feel its bones. Start to think about that. Do these experiential exercises. If you want to get better, practice, practice, practice. You know, as I keep saying to you, you look at these folk driving about in big flash cars and big flash houses, and they never got it for nothing. The majority of them worked for it. You know, people with good physiques, people that are healthy, they don't eat McDonald's every day, they don't eat KFC every day. They're actually getting up and they're preparing their juices. They're eating well, they're eating greens, you know, they're eating a balanced diet, they're eating colours that are in the rainbow. It's no, hi, let's stop at the chippy, we'll get a chippy tonight, or we'll get a kebab, we'll get an Indian, we'll get a takeaway. Okay, doesn't work. So, back to your puppy, feel the puppy. What does it like when you think about that puppy? Okay, now imagine something negative. Your ex-wife, your ex-husband, your ex-job, your ex-employer. Things that never happened well. Now, when you're thinking about the puppy, is it a contract? That is if you like dogs. If it's little kittens you like, those little fur balls, imagine them. Imagine what that makes you feel like inside, right? Is that a contractive experience or an expansive experience? Is the constructs that you hold to that mental image, okay, are you loosely construing around it? Wow. Or are you tightly construing about it? Okay, right? Think about the boss that was really horrible, that you left your job from, or your ex-wife or your ex-husband or whatever. When you think about them, is that an expansive experience? Are you loosely construing? Oh wow, wonderful. Or are you very tightly construing? Right? That's happening to you at a cellular level, okay? Now, we're not in control of our genes, we're not in control of our DNA, but we are. How you experience your reality has a direct effect on your genes, your immune system, your emotional health, your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, how you interpret your environment. So, what we're talking about is programming your mind for happiness. We're not hardwired for happiness. We're all set up for negativity because our ancestors had to be very primed for danger. It was better to be overly anxious 200,000 times than it was to be blasé, because the second option would get you killed. The over anxiety of a particular threat that might be there kept you on your guard and allowed you to just keep on doing it and keep on going out to, you know, grab your potatoes or whatever it is that you're doing. Right? Is this making sense? So, however, look at the amount of anxieties that are going around right now. The thing that our ancient ancestors had, which was they were able to step their foot on the gas of the sympathetic limbic system very well, and when they got back to their loving community, their herd-like mentality, they were able to take their foot off the sympathetic limbic system and allow themselves to lie and be cared for. Probably have little flies picked out their heads by the other people that cared about them, and they went into their parasympathetic limbic system. Whereas now, Nobody's really taught us the biology of the body, the neural networks, the nervous system at all. And we've got lots of people that are running around looking for these threats, these perceived threats that aren't there. Our credit card bill's now a threat. How can we be happy and have a credit card bill? Well, if you were a lot happier, I guarantee you, your credit card bill would be a lot less, because you wouldn't be filling your shopping basket with consumables that are not necessary to fill that void, that gaping hole in your heart. Now, where was our happiness? So, as you're looking and interpreting your environment, are you interpreting your environment as a safe place, a place that you can be happy, or are you interpreting your environment as a cruel place? Now, like any muscle, we have to take responsibility, we have to pull it back to ourselves, and we can start to focus more on positive, happy experiences. This takes really hard work. As I said to you, well, I do this walk every morning, it's 8 miles. I walk 8 miles every morning. Is it hard work? No. I love it, I enjoy it, but I only get to have the benefits that this gives me by doing it. I'm not going to get the benefits by lying in my bed to 8:30, running late, getting down the stairs, having a shower, to be on the computer for 9 o'clock. No, I'm in a mess. You know, charging coffee down my neck. That doesn't work, right? So you have to set. First of all, what's helpful for us to do is to start to see ourselves as being worth taking the time to change, right? Think about something that makes you happy. Don't just think about it. Let that feeling come down. Experience it in your body. Let that feeling come down into your body and wash it into your body. Now, that'll be really difficult at first. But if you can do that for a minute a day for a week, and then 2 minutes a day for a week, and 3 minutes a day for a week, and just keep doing it. See, by 7 weeks, you'll be doing it for 7 minutes every day. If you can do that for 7 minutes every day, you are well on the way to changing your neurobiology and indeed neurophysiology, right? But you're not going to get it for nothing. It's like this. I was thinking about this as well this morning, right? Because I said something about just because Christ gave her a blessing, or we've read a book on compassion by the Dalai Lama, we're not immediately going to have compassion. We need to go out and work it. Now, when I go to church on a Sunday, the person to whom is taking and leading the sermon is very well identified and believes wholeheartedly in the word of Christ. Believes it so much more than I do, or probably anybody else in the congregation does, because that person has absolutely dedicated his life to the cloth, to the ministry, and to the work of Jesus Christ, right? So when he speaks about Jesus Christ, he speaks with passion about Jesus Christ. And because of the mirror neurons in my brain and the vicarious way that I'm able to interpret information, I get to feel what it feels like momentarily to live in his world. And I feel that passion and I feel that understanding of the scriptures and the Bible. And when I'm at church, I feel alright. I get a good feeling. I leave, I feel fine. Come Monday morning, it's gone, it's past. Why? Why are we not sitting in church feeling the love and connection that Jesus speaks about? The acceptance, the forgiveness, the love, the understanding. Why do we need to be preached at it when we can already feel it? Why are we not sitting there feeling it? Thinking it, feeling it, absorbing it, bringing it into our body? Would that not be a better use of an hour? Actually reprogramming our mind for that hour to feel the connection of every other heart that's beating in there harmoniously with one another, when we all have the same attention and we're all walking towards the same goal and the same purpose. I wonder if that would make us feel better for the coming days or weeks after our one singular hour experience on a Sunday. That was just a thought. So, happiness. Started off by talking about this, that I think that it's something that we all really, really want. Morning, Paul. So sorry I never got back to you last week. I'm not going to lie, my head wasn't in it. My head just wasn't in it last week. So I'm going to spend a bit of time. You will get an email from me today. So, online apology. Happiness is something that we all want, but very, very few of us actually get to fully experience what that's like and that's sad. We're supposed to have 70 years and 10. We're supposed to be on this planet for 70 years. Some people don't get that. Wow. Wouldn't it be wonderful to experience joy and happiness even 50% more than we currently do? But we're a lazy bunch and we just want Amazon to deliver everything in a box. We want to read the book and no do the work. It doesn't work that way. And we've got to put in the hard work. It's difficult. No, let yours take them out. Dogs are being dogs. Are you well?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
Excellent. You have a good weekend? Brilliant. Take care. Now, Buddha speaks really well about this, and I love how Buddha, Gabor Maté's recently wrote a book about the hungry ghost. Everybody loves it because it's trendy. But in actual fact, Buddha was speaking about the craving. And I don't mean intravenous mainline craving, I mean that hunger for more, that craving. I think we all have that. And we all feel sort of that we're missing out. But we can, absolutely, 100%, we can all have it. But it's starting to put in the hard work, stop listening to everything that's going on round about you, right? It's really, conspiracy theories, fantastic. Have you ever noticed though, that people that babble on about conspiracy theories, it's as if they know something you don't know? Have you noticed that superiority in the, superiorityness in conspiracy theories now? Why I'm saying this is, conspiracy theories are just another mosquito bite. If you're going to look at them, you're going to find truth in them, right? But tell me this, are you looking at the conspiracy theories and it's filling your heart with joy? Or is it bringing your heart into fear, anger, resentment? Okay, now the enemy wants us to be separate. The devil wants separation. Okay, so I'm wondering, are these people that are promoting conspiracy theories promoting it just as another distraction? Because fear will always trump hope. Fear will always trump hope. Now, if you can wholeheartedly tell me that you're reading conspiracy theories and it's blowing your heart wide open with love and joy and connection and making you feel connected to people that don't believe in conspiracy theories, then fantastic. But the majority of people that I'm having in my consultancy room right now that are coming in that are experiencing anxiety, separation, fear and a whole lot of anger at the feeling that they've been lied to because they're reading absolute nonsense, right, and being force-fed this, right? What I'm seeing is not love and happiness. What I'm seeing is fear and anxiety. And I don't want people to feel fear and anxiety. Stop reading it, right? Redirect your internal focus to a new place of mindset rather than directing your focus into the thinking that's got you to where you are today, because it's your thinking that's got you to where you are today. You are not thinking effectively if you are continually reenacting the scripts and schemas from your past, and they are what's controlling your life. It's not you that's controlling your own destiny by taking charge of your own happiness. And you can only do that by redirecting your internal focus to things that bring you joy, to people, places and things that fill your purse with serenity and peace and not fear and disconnection. Now, as I said, there may be truth in conspiracy theories, right? But really what we're doing is changing how we view them. Now, do I think that there's an overarching power that's ruling and controlling us? Yes. Do I think that the media thrives on feeding us with negative news? Yes. How much time do I give that in the day? Not much. Right? Do I want to start a revolution? Not really. Do I want to get angry at governments? No. What do I want to choose today? I want to choose peace. I want to choose serenity. I want to choose sobriety. Right? Now, just as I'm starting to finish off, I've got to bring in one of my granny's quotes, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. Right? And my granny used to say to me, Ross, look after your pennies, son, the pennies will look after the pounds. Right? Look after your pennies because the pennies will look after the pounds. I've changed her narrative somewhat. I still have it, I still smile when I hear her saying that to me. Look after the minutes, and the minutes will look after the hours. Look after your minutes, and the minutes will look after the hours. Because that's gone. I've been talking to you for 15, 20 minutes. It's gone. They're behind me. Where I'm heading is far more important. And we have that within our control and in our capacity. Good morning, sir. Are you well?
Right.
Good. Didn't sound convincing, but I can only go with what he's saying. And look after the minutes will look after the hours. Look after your pennies, the pennies will look after the pounds. Okay, if you're focusing on fear, you'll get fear. If you're focusing on love, you'll experience more love. Now, everything to me is a distraction. If I'm thinking about my ex, or I'm thinking about a job that never worked out, or I'm thinking about how that job never paid me in the last month or so of me being there, and I was running about like a lunatic, right? I'm actually not angry at them. I'm angry at myself, because I had a choice when I knew when that ship was sinking that I could have got out. I wasn't her husband, her son, or anything else. I went way beyond the call of duty. There's only one person I'm angry at, and that's me. Can I forgive myself? Yes. Let it go. Move on. Right? You want to live in the past is always present. The past wasn't positive, you're not going to have positive experiences. So, happiness. Start educating, looking at yourself. There's phenomenal research out there now with neurobiologists and neuroscientists and things like that on how happiness can shape the brain. How, when we're stress creates cortisol hits the hippocampus. The memory activator in the brain, the hippocampus, the amygdala. Look at how the brain works. You are that brain, you are that unique system. You have a nervous system, parasympathetic, sympathetic, limbic system that's going on in the brain. You can start to master that, but you can only start to master it when you see it. So, have a fantastic Monday. Have a great day. And it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. And thank you all for, as I said, the positive comments. But I'd also like to thank those for the comments where they feel that they don't align with it. But as I say, this is my opinion. This is my thoughts. I'm allowed to have my thoughts. If you choose to listen to them, that's great. It's up to you what you do with them. And I would always encourage you to do your own research. Stop giving your power away to people that don't deserve it. Notice the coaches that want to tell you, I've been doing this for 27 years, aye. Now, if I go and start talking to you about fairies and psychics, I'll start to create a following that's aligned with that kind of thing, right? If I want to create a following of people and create a little tribe around about conspiracy theories, I'll attract that type of people, right? The type of people that I'm interested in working with are the type of people that can accept different opinions, that can accept other people for having them, to see things as neither right or wrong, to see things as transient, and that where they're at is transient, and they are willing to put in the hard work to have a healthier and happier lifestyle. Right? If conspiracy theories make you healthier and happier, fantastic. Right? There's a lot of that going on right now, and I do not believe that it is. I do not believe that it's got the work of the Lord, and they're using the Lord's name to provide it. They're talking about God, but talking about Satan. I would ask you to look at your own. There's so many people plugging conspiracy theories right now, and I believe that they're robbing us of happiness. So have a fantastic day. Blessings and peace to you all. Have a fantastic day. God bless.